Want them back? Then walk away. Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about walking away and how walking away from someone is the best way to get them back. It's the best thing for you to do to put you in the best position possible to reattract them. But before we get into this video, please leave a like on it and please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you have anything that you'd like me to discuss in a future video, then please leave it down in the comments. Or if you have any tips and advice yourself that may benefit other people. Thank you so much. So, if you want them back, you have to walk away. But firstly, you need to decide whether or not this is someone you should even be trying to focus your energy and emotion into. Because sometimes simply people just don't deserve the attention that we give them. So if this person hasn't been nice to you in the past, so let's say this is an ex, let's say the situation was toxic, you didn't like being around them because they made you feel horrible about yourself, maybe they belittled you, you have to decide whether or not you should even try and get this person back. Or if, let's say, you do walk away and eventually they reach out to you, whether or not you should even respond to them. So the best way to know if you should actually respond to someone after you've walked away and they've started to chase you is if you know this person is genuinely nice, right? They're not horrible to you. You had a good experience with them when you were together. And perhaps maybe it was your fault. Perhaps you over pursued too much, or perhaps you got a little needy, because sometimes those kinds of things can happen and they can turn someone off you. If you're being too needy and too insecure or too immature, those kinds of things can turn people off. And if you've done that, if you've behaved that way and you want this person back because they're genuinely nice, you enjoyed being around them, and the environment that you were in together was a positive one, and this person helped you grow, and this person deserves your love and attention, then when they do reach out to you after you've walked away, then of course then you can try and get back with them. But it's very important to know whether or not you're looking at the whole situation with a rose pair of colored glasses, basically. And you're looking at it with nostalgia and you're not really using your head, you're using your heart and your emotions, or how you're attracted to them. So if you're not really, so you need to be logical about it. You need to really think about whether or not this person is right for you. And only you can know that. How to walk away to get them back. So first of all, you might need to clear up some mess if you've made a bit of a mess, basically. So clearing up any mess. This might require you to apologize. So like I've said already, let's say you were overly needy or you were immature and basically you did a lot of things to put this person off you, then you may need to apologize. You may need to say to them that you're sorry for over messaging them, for begging to get them back. You may have to apologize for these things before you walk away. You want to address the fact that you were acting in a way that wasn't that good, and that this behavior may have put them off you. So you need to apologize for that, which is why you may need to send one last message to this ex or phone them up one last time and let them know that you're really sorry for the way that you behaved and that you're going to now leave them alone. And you can also say to them, if you ever want to get back in contact with me, then you have my contact. Just give me a call, just give me a text, and then maybe we can hang out one day. You can say something like that. So you're not fully closing the door on them, because if you do want them back and this is a person who is genuinely nice, a person who is good for you, a person who perhaps didn't deserve the way that you treated them, or perhaps didn't deserve your neediness or immaturity, then you need to leave that door a little bit open for them to come back in if they want to. So that's kind of mindset that you want to have, and that's kind of what you want to offer. You want to offer that olive branch, saying that you're sorry for doing the things that you did. So list a few things that you did, and also say if you ever want to hang out again, if you want to have a catch up one day, you have my contact information. And then you gracefully after that bow out. After you've apologized, you then go into this period of no contact and walking away from them forever. And this will show your emotional maturity. So the next point I want to get into on how to walk away to get them back is the importance of self-control. And I have a quote here from Napoleon Hill from his book, The Law of Success. And the quote goes like this: "Men who control themselves usually boss the job, no matter what that may be." So basically what this means, I mean, it could mean in the literal job sense, like those people in a company that have the emotional self-control, that don't have outbursts in the office, tend to be the ones that are in control, tend to be the ones that are at the top of their field. And this also goes in relationships as well. The one who has the more emotional self-control tends to be the one that's in charge of the situation. And if you are walking away from someone, and this is someone that you are trying to get back, then obviously there is something going on with the power dynamic. At the moment, they have all the power, because if you think about it, your happiness probably is depending somewhat on them coming back into your life. So obviously you want to switch that around and have that emotional self-confidence and self-control to see this situation as, if they come back into my life, that's great, but if they don't, that's also fine, right? But at the moment, perhaps you don't have that. Perhaps you will be devastated if you found out that this person would never come back into your life. That means they have the power. That means they have the control. But you need to have the control. You need to have the control over yourself. Because if your happiness is completely dependent on this other person coming back into your life, you are not in control of your life. You are not in control of your emotions, and you are not in control of your mindset. So you need to get that power back over yourself. Not over them, but over yourself. Men who control themselves usually boss the job, no matter what that may be. So sometimes I get emails and even comments from viewers who say to me, "Oh, can I message them now?" Right? It's been a while. I've been in no contact. Can I message them now? Right? These are people that do not have that emotional self-control yet. They're looking for my permission to reach out to their exes, to the people that they've had crushes on. This shows to me that they don't have emotional self-control. They are desperate to message them. But the thing is, if you have made a commitment to yourself and to this person that you are walking away from them, that you're no longer going to bother them, and you go back on your word and you message them a couple of weeks later or a day later, whenever it is, if you go back on you walking away, you have lost their confidence. You have lost their trust in you, first of all. But mostly, and most importantly, you have lost your trust in yourself, because you made a commitment to walk away and you didn't stick to that commitment. If that is you, then you need to focus on your self-control, your emotional self-control. So how can we do this? How can we work on our emotional self-control? So obviously at this time, then you are refraining from contacting your ex or whoever this is that you've walked away from. So first of all, you're kind of already practicing a little bit in doing that. But there are other ways that you can do it as well. And usually when you start having more self-control, emotional self-control in other areas of your life, it starts to spread into the other areas as well. So let's say you stop yourself from eating lots of sugar and junk food. Let's say you make a commitment to yourself to not eat as much junk food, right? That is emotional self-control. If you can stop yourself from being tempted by the chocolate, or the cheeseburgers, whatever it is, right? If you can have emotional self-control in that area, that will help with your emotional self-control in this other area, right? Another one might be exercise, having the discipline of daily exercise, or at least exercising every weekday, or just being consistent with exercise. You know, if you can make yourself exercise and have that self-discipline, then and that self-control, then that will also spread into other areas. So the more you strengthen your self-control in different areas of your life, it might even be turning up to work on time or going into work, you know, because maybe sometimes you don't go into work, you have a day off here and there when you know that you could have gone into work, you know, things like that. If you don't give in to the temptation of lots of different things in your life, you will have much more resolve and much more inner self-control. And then if you have that, you won't be as tempted to message your exes or message your crushes when you've said and made a commitment to walk away. And not only will other people have more faith in you, but you will have more faith in yourself. And that is even more important, because you're the one that's got to look in the mirror every day at yourself, okay? And if you know that you give into temptation easily, you over message your crushes or your ex, or you give into bad foods even though you're trying not to, or you don't exercise, and you've made a commitment. Obviously these all depend on who you are. I mean, you may not have these commitments, but you know when you are giving into temptation. And if you are giving into temptation too much, you know that you need to rein that in a little bit and start practicing self-control. How other people see you is not as important as you see yourself. You're the one that's got to look in the mirror every day. You're the one that's got to wash yourself. You're the one that's got to shave your beard, or you're the one that's got to shave your face, or, comb your hair or put your makeup on. You're the one that's got to do that. You've got to stare at yourself in the mirror every single day. And if you do not like who you see in the mirror because you're ashamed of the temptations that you give into, you need to start exerting your own emotional self-control. So my next point on how to walk away from someone to get them back is your focus. So if you have been putting a lot of attention on this person who you've walked away from, and you have a lot of emotional connection to them, then you need to focus your attention on something else. And this is something I say a lot, and that is, what you put your attention on, you get more of. So if you're always paying attention to them, if you're always thinking about them, if you're always indulging in music and your fantasies and just thinking about them, imagining them, then you need to put your focus elsewhere. So this could be in your business, if you have a side business, or it could be in your studying, it could be in exercise. So you want to have other things in your life going on, so you have less time basically to dwell upon this person. Use that time in a more productive way. That time that you used to spend scrolling on their social media, that time that you've used to imagine them and think about them in your fantasies, use that time to do something else, something productive. So that leads me into my next point on how to walk away to get them back, and that is to transmute. So transmute that frustration that you have, that romantic feeling that you may hold towards them, and transmute it into inspiration to work out, to exercise, or to work on your business. Use that to fuel your creativity, to become a better person, to make something of yourself. Use that energy, because obviously you don't want to try and repress it, because if you repress it, then it's just going to come out in a different kind of form. It's going to come out in you basically not being emotionally self-controlled and having these outbursts, or messaging them, doing something like that. So you need to use that energy. Don't push it down. Use it for your creativity, use it for your business, use it for studying, use it for making yourself into the best version of yourself as possible. My next point on how to walk away to get them back is to heal. So before you jump into a new relationship, because this is sometimes how rebound relationships happen, you suddenly break up with someone, or you realize that the person that you like doesn't like you back, and then you try and scrounge to find someone else to be with, right? You don't want to do that. You want to have time to heal and to get over it, because if you don't have time to heal and to get over it, then you are just going to continue those bad habits, but in a brand new relationship. And that's why one of the reasons why rebound relationships rarely work. So take your time to heal, and one of the ways that you can help heal yourself is to actually work on other things, work on learning new things, work on your side business, your side hustle, or you're studying. Do those things, do those other things that you have interests in. And then at some point you will realize that you don't have as much anger or resentment, or you don't feel as intensely towards that person anymore. And once you've discovered that you feel less intense about the situation, and you've learned the lesson from that previous relationship or the situation that you're walking away from, once you've learned the lesson, you found the lesson in there, then you'll be in a better emotional position to move on into a new relationship, or continue that previous relationship if they come back into your life after you've walked away. So it's always good to ask yourself the question to help with this healing process is, what have I learned here? What can I learn here? What is the lesson here? Asking yourself that question will help you move on from it and to stop that from happening again in the future. Because obviously the whole point of painful experiences, like this one perhaps, is to show you and to give you a lesson that you can learn so you don't repeat those mistakes in the future. Because fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And basically that means if you make the mistake, if you keep on making the same mistakes, then you haven't learned the lesson. If you keep on doing the same things over and over again, you haven't learned the lesson. So find the lesson. Seek what that lesson is and learn it. If you'd like to get coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. On the shop page of that website, you will find a free PDF download. If you do get that PDF, which is a dating and relationship manual, then please let me know if you have any critiques or anything that you would like me to add to it so I can make it the best product possible for those people that want it. Thank you so much, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye, guys.